McMurtry. I am a senior gold ambassador, and I live on a ranch outside of Raton, New Mexico, which is right on the northeastern Colorado border. So, yes, we had a little bit of snow this morning. Not a whole lot, just a dusting, but it was pretty. I'm going to give a little bit about my background, my testimony. Tammy asked me. I know there's probably some of you that may not have heard it, and some have heard it. So anyhow, my journey began in February of 2014. I ordered the Slim and Accelerator, and I'm here to tell you it did not work. The only reason it did not work is because it sat on my counter until May of 2014. I did not take it or take it consistently. And my reasoning was because I kept getting sick and I thought it would just be a waste of the products. Well, I now know that that's wrong and that's when I should double up on it. But anyhow, in May of 2014, I have what I call my coming to plexus moment. I was in a dressing room trying on clothes for a trip to Oregon, and I tried on a size 16. Y'all, I'm 5'3" and a half, 5'4" when I'm having a really big hair day. And that was the biggest I'd ever been in my life. I sat in the middle of that dressing room, bawling my eyes out, throwing my shoes up against the wall, and I'm sure that the ladies that worked in the store thought I had totally lost my mind. But I decided right then, I drew my line in the sand. I came home and I decided I was taking it every day for at least 60 days. Well, I did. But the end of 30 days, not 3 days, not 7, not 2 weeks, at the end of a month, I woke up that morning. I woke up before my husband's alarm went off at 5 o'clock. I woke up before the dogs nudged me to go outside to go to the bathroom. I had energy. I was in a good mood. I was ready to get up and do things. And that had not happened in probably over a year. So that was huge for me. I knew something was working. I just didn't really know what. I didn't know a lot about the product yet. So I decided, well, let's do a little studying on the products. And first thing I noticed that I probably needed was the BioCleanse because I've been constipated my whole life. So I ordered it. And then I ordered the ProBio. And by the end of summer, I was feeling so good that I knew I wanted to try even more products. Well, we lived on a cowboy's wages at the time, and we really couldn't afford it. And of May, we had also moved from a camp further out of town to headquarters. So my husband had said, now that we're closer to town, after the grandkids go home this summer, maybe you need to go back to town and get a job. That is the last thing I wanted to do in the world. So sometime the end of August, I decided, what the heck, I was going to give my upline a shout out. I poured my pink drink in a white crystal glass, like a little wine glass. I sat it out on the porch that morning, took a picture of it with the sun shining through it, and said, this pink stuff is making me feel good again. So good, I actually feel pretty and like myself. Something to that effect. I got a whole bunch of comments and over a dozen messages wanting to know, what is it? What are you doing? So I knew I was onto something. So that's when I signed up for Wholesale Ambassador. And I thought, maybe, just maybe, I could make a go of this. Well, my pastor, who is also an outfitter, hired me to cook for hunting camp that year through September, through the end of November, and maybe a week in December. So I told my husband, what if I could make a job out of this? And he said, then go for it. So between doing hunting camp, driving, I was leaving the ranch between 3 and 4 in the morning to be at hunting camp to cook breakfast for these guys, cook lunch. I'd run back to the ranch, do a few things around the house, do laundry, go back. And some nights I was feeding the hunters supper as late as 10 o'clock and cleaning up. And my pink drink and the stuff I was taking was keeping me going like crazy. And my business took off. By Christmas, I was making more than I had in my last town job. And y'all, I was an executive director of a chamber of commerce. That was huge. And even my husband's eyes got wide. He still didn't really know what I was doing. He just knew that he had gotten his wife back and he knew he liked the money and to keep it coming on in. When I started, like I said, I was not living life. I was severely constipated all the time. I had no energy. I was a 15-year insomniac. I've had migraines since I was 16. I have interstitial cystitis, which is a bladder disease, bursitis, arthritis, 5 bulging discs, fibromyalgia, allergies out the wazoo. My list goes on and on and on. And y'all, I don't deal with hardly any of those anymore. If I do, it's a small flare up. I double up on my products. I push my water, and in a half a day to a day, I'm good to go again. So, like I said, the products have changed my life. My husband has his wife back. My parents have their daughter back. My grandkids have their ghee back. And I love the business. I love sharing it. And that's all I do. Probably 95% of my business is strictly on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm really passionate about social media. If those of you follow me, you probably already know that. I was before Plexus, being a ranch wife, I was always sharing our life, and I had a lot of following, and I have a photography page too. So, to get down to the nitty gritty tonight, I started doing the new algorithm stuff, studying up on it. I had gotten an email from an old business type email when I was at the chamber that kind of focuses on social media and how to market your stuff, and noticed a few things that they said. And then I found a guy named Johnny Jumpman, and you can follow him. He's actually with It's Works, and he's not giving as many social media tips anymore because he wants you to either pay him $500 a month to coach you, or you can join It's Works and then you can have it for free. So, I mean, that's pretty good idea if you ask me. I'm thinking maybe I need to do that. But he still gives a couple tips once a week normally. He's very enthusiastic. He's good to watch, so he's awesome. And then some of y'all also might have watched the other video that I think we've posted from one of our jewels on a lot of the tips too. So like I said, the end of September, I started putting these to work, and my following and as far as comments and likes has tripled. My messages have tripled to quadrupled, even if it's not about Plexus, which we want them to triple or quadruple just to build the relationships. So, first of all, with the new algorithms, forget everything you've ever been taught. Throw it out the window, erase it from your mind. We've got to change and adapt to do this, because if you don't, you're really crushing your business and people aren't seeing you at all, even though you may be getting some likes, but those are probably the people that are your best friends, your team, your family, and that's it. And you may also be noticing more and more as you go on, all you're seeing in your feed is Plexus people, which is good, but it's also very bad. So, first of all, we are only now going to post 2 to 3 times a day. That's it, no more. Johnny says you can go 4. I've heard a couple other people say just 2 or 3. I'm sticking to 2 or 3. Now, y'all, when I first heard that, I almost cried. I could post 8 to 12 times a day, but that's because I shared pictures of the ranch, of my cowboy, of what I was cooking, what I was eating, of my chickens, and of my chickens. But there's a way you can still do it if you're a postaholic like me, and I'll give you that tip in a minute. So we're only going to post 2 to 3 times a day. You're going to spread them out. Do not post and 5 seconds later make another post. I really recommend to go morning, noon, like early evening, like 5 o'clock-ish when people are getting off work, and then again before bed. I've been really watching it, and my biggest time people seeing stuff is before bed, like that 8 to 10, 8:30 to 9:30 kind of window. And y'all, those are getting so much attention that when I get up the next morning, I let it keep rolling and I don't post again for quite a while. I don't have to worry about posting at 6 in the morning. Um, okay, I'm going to go to my notes just to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, now before you post, you're going to spend 10 minutes, maybe 15, scrolling, but not just scrolling. You're going to scroll intentionally through your feed, and you're going to like and you're going to comment, because that is going to boost it up, and that is going to boost those people seeing what you're fixing to post. So after 10 minutes of that, then you make your post. Then you go back and you scroll and like and comment for 10 more minutes. Okay? So 10 minutes, post, 10 minutes. You know, if you're like me and you're at home, you can maybe do 15 or 20. That's okay too. It's all good. Let's see. If you've got a really, really good post, like I was talking about, like the night before, then when I get up the next morning, I go back through those first and I comment more and like more and, you know, engage with whoever's commented on that post. Say if Dusty made a post the night before and a bunch of my team or some of my potentials, we've got the same friends, they commented on it. I'm going to go back and post and comment or comment, you know, to them on it too. So that's going to up it too. Then I make my then I scroll, then I make my post, and then I scroll again. Okay, something else, y'all use emojis. I know some people think they're highly annoying, but they help boost everything in the algorithm. Now, don't use them annoyingly. I see some people that use like 25 emojis in 2 words, and I'm like, okay, what are they trying to say? You know, kind of use it to compliment it, make a smiley face, use the poop emoji, you know, just whatever it is, just enough to get a little extra attention. Those are really, really good. Okay, now here's something I want you to stop doing. I actually did a live on Dusty's team page the other day and yelled at people to stop it. Okay, you're going to stop sharing. I'm not talking about sharing the products, testimonies, information, your heart, your love, whatever. I'm talking about do not hit the share button. Don't do it. I wish it wasn't even there. When you hit the share button, if you share something I posted, it's going to bury you and it's going to up me. So it's good for me, but it's not good for you and what you want people to say. Copy, paste, change the introduction, my friend Kara, whatever. If you're sharing a link or say even you found a really good article on Google about gut health and eczema, you know, take your own picture or use, I mean, don't, God forbid, don't take pictures either because sharing pictures have been used a whole lot does the same thing and burying it. And then you say, you know, information in the comments. I'm seeing a lot of people are starting to do that, and that's really, really good. So put those links in the comments. Stop sharing. Let's see. Okay. How many of you know what stories are on Facebook? And I'm not talking about the stories you tell to in your post. Brooke knows. She's listened to my other videos. Okay, when you're on an iPhone or an Android, and even most laptops, I know mine does, when you go to the very first home Facebook page, there's a whole bunch of little circles up at the very top. And the very first one is you. That's like a Snapchat type deal. Facebook has it and Instagram has it. And actually, if you post it, if you do the story on Instagram first, there's a way you can make it feed into the Facebook stories. You only have to do it once if you want to. I like changing it up, especially if I have a lot of people that follow me on both. So you use it just like Facebook, and I've actually got a really good link that I will post underneath the recording for y'all to go and learn how to use it. Use the filters, all that sort of stuff. You can use pictures from your camera roll. You can do a live. You can do a video, any of that. But using stories is going to boost you in the algorithms too. It's really, really big. Some people still don't know what it is. So what I did is I've actually made a post. Hey, I hear some of y'all are complaining and sending me messages because you're not seeing all my chicken pictures. Well, that's because you're not looking at my stories. And then trying to tell them what it is. Take a snapshot, circle it at the top, educate your audience. That helps too. Okay. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Okay, there is like this little invisible guy that's sitting inside of Facebook land, and he's got a little tally book, and he's keeping score. He's keeping score after you post on how much engagement that post gets for the next 15 minutes. So 15 minutes after you post, if somebody comments, you want to comment back. Remember we used to tell you wait till later to boost it back up? Not anymore. Throw it out the window. Comment again. And what you really need to do is get them even more engaged. So make a comment that maybe asks a question or something like that. The more engagement you get the first 15 minutes after you post, the higher up it goes in the algorithm. And, after a few times, if you have to, if it is a Plexus post, and of course you need to do things privately in Messenger, that's great. Using Messenger is also huge to build your algorithm. Okay, let's see. Here's one that I didn't want to do either, but I've started doing it, and that's trimming your friends. Depending on who you're listening to, some will tell you to keep your friends list from 3,000 below. Some will tell you 2 to 1,500 below. That may not be a problem for some of you, but you want the people that are on your friends list to be really your friends, not Sue's second cousin's best friend that married her grandmother. Okay, that has never commented, never liked, never a relationship. All of those, what I want to call dead relationships, kind of like your exes, you want to get rid of them. You want to kick them to the curb because they're dragging you down in your algorithm. So, what I actually did for the first 3 weeks, every day, because I had the time, because this is my only job, I would go to my friends list. Like the first day, I went through the A's and I kicked a lot of people off. I unfriended them. And some of them, if I was kind of worried about them getting upset, I sent them a message saying, "Hey, I'm getting too many people. Would you please follow me?" And some of them have done that. That's a good thing. And the others that I've been keeping, I intentionally that day went to their page, liked, commented, shot them a message. "Hey, I've been thinking about you, haven't seen you in a while," or "Hey, those kids are so cute." Because that would start our engagement going again. And that's just been a time thing. It's not like something you can sit and do all in one day. Well, you could, but let's not do that. Okay. So you're going to trim your friends list. And when you do get a new friend, what are you going to do? Are you just going to say nice? No. You're going to go to their page and like and comment on some things. You're going to shoot them a message. "I'm so glad we've connected. We've reconnected," or blah, 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 whatever it applies to. Get that engagement going. And what I'm doing, those people, as I'm adding people, I'm trying now. They used to tell us try to add 5 or 10 people a day. No, try to keep it maybe 5 a week or less, because you want your relationship to really build with them. You want to have the time to really go to their page, like, comment, send them messages, get that relationship going so it boosts everything up in the algorithm. And a lot of people have the add 5, delete 5 rule. So if you're adding 5 people and you've got 5 X's or dead zombies, kick them to the curb. Let's see. The other huge, 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 huge thing, which I know is going to scare the bejesus out of some of y'all, live videos. Live videos are the biggest thing to boost your algorithm. And you also want to do the 10 minutes of actively posting and commenting before and after. And specifically, say you are going to do a Plexus Live, if you've got 2 or 3 people that you're kind of aiming this at, make sure you engage with them before. Now, if it scares the bejesus out of you and you don't want to be in front of the camera, that's okay too. Y'all, I take live videos. I go live in the front yard of the turkeys roosting in the trees. I go live down in the feedlot of the cattle. Um, Go live at your kids' ball game. Go live of your puppies running around the living room acting like idiots. There's all kinds of things you can do where you don't actually have to turn it on to you. That's really important. So once you get used to doing that, then turn it around and start going live. I guarantee you, you will get more love than you think you will. It's really not that bad, and it gets better. And guess what? When you do make a mistake, they like it even more because it makes you more real. That's a good thing. Okay. So these top 20 to 30 people each week that you're building a relationship with, that you're probably wanting to join you or get the products because you know they need them. Make sure you're also, like I said, going to their page, actively posting, messaging, all that kind of stuff. Um, a lot of my friends, they actually help me build the algorithm with them because they know I'm the crazy chicken lady. I love to cook with green chili, that sort of things. They're constantly finding links and pictures and tagging me in them. So that's a really, really good thing. Oh, okay, I didn't see that. And I'm on my phone. I can't read chats on my phone. Okay. Um, okay, when you're scrolling too, those 10 minutes, do not be the invisible man. Like, comment, and they're really kind of timing you, the algorithms are, or that little invisible guy, on how long you're spending on Mary Jane's post. Did you really spend enough time to read it and to really comment? I mean, y'all, these guys are cool. I want to be one of those dudes. No, I don't. So also on a lot of posts, when you see that see more, if you comment and didn't click that see more, Facebook knows you really didn't read it. So that's not going to build that relationship. So make sure you're clicking those when it's those type people. You know, use an emoji, say I love it, your kid's so cute, how they're growing so fast. It really doesn't take that long to type, y'all. I promise. Ba-dum-bum. Using GIFs, you know, the little funny animated things that pop up, those are huge, huge too in boosting your algorithm. Do a lot of the cute, engaging posts that are going on right now. You know, I think one of them for Halloween is search Halloween and the year you were born and post the GIF in the comment. Stuff like that is huge. So use those too. Let's see. Something else, we're all building our team, and say Dusty or Tammy makes a post on the team pages, don't just like it. Don't just tag your team. Actually make a comment in a post or comment like Dusty, I love this. Yes, I believe this, blah, 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 blah. Then in another one, tag your team. When you do that, your team is going to get 2 notifications. Or even if they're not on your team, they're just a customer or a wholesale customer. And because you're friends with them, they're going to see, hey, Kara just commented. Maybe I should go see what that post is. That is going to be huge to build your business with the people you've got in there as wholesale ambassadors and ones that are maybe a little scared or timid or just learning and starting out. That is huge, 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 huge. So y'all start posting and commenting on Tammy's, Dusty's, Kelly's, Nikki's, whichever team pages you're on. That will really help. And it also helps us know that y'all are actually awake and paying attention. Let's see. Okay, my morning kind of looks like I've already kind of told you. When I get on, the first thing I do is I go through the birthdays list and wish everybody a happy birthday because that's going to boost whatever you're posting that day in their algorithm. And I also, this is just my little thing, I have a birthday club this year. Anybody that I think needs the products, has maybe been interested before, never jumped, not Plexus people, not, you know, that, I send them another message the next day and say, hey, I've got a birthday club this year. How would you like a free sample of Slim? And probably about 50% of them are saying yes. And probably about 10 to 20% of those are following up and they're eventually joining me. So that's a pretty good percentage rate, I think. And it's a tax write-off. So, hey. And then I also do the memories, the on this day, you know, everything you've posted from that day, from whenever you joined, which I think mine was 2008. And the good thing to go back through those as far as Plexus, it's good to go back and see maybe who was making comments before that fell through the cracks that never joined you that you quit talking to. Maybe it's a good time to touch base with them again. So that's always really good. It's good to look back and see that 5 years ago, I was complaining because I had a migraine. Thank you, Jesus, I don't have them anymore. If I do, I know how to handle it. And that doesn't happen hardly at all. Okay, and then I do my intentional scrolling for 10, 15 minutes. Then I make my post. Then I do more intentional. And then I'm freed up to actually work my business and get my housework done and cook for the man I love. So I'm not spending all day on Facebook. Let's face it, we can all get sucked in. Okay, what else? The other big thing I've been doing is actually I've been kind of planning my posts. Y'all aren't going to be able to see this, I don't think. But what I mean by planning my posts, I don't actually say on this day I'm going to post this, 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 that. I'm a hashtag person because I'm also on Instagram. So, say on Monday, I've got Memories Monday, Motivational Monday, Meet My Chicken Monday, Marriage Monday, Man Crush Monday. Those are all that would apply to me in my life. So I can always pull from one of those if I don't have something else that I know what to post that day. Um, Tuesday is Ruse Day Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Testimony Tuesday, Tuesday Trivia, uh, Testicle Tuesday. Hey, I'm a cowgirl. You know, we castrate things. Tractor Tuesday, Tickle Your Funny Bone Tuesday. There's all kinds of ideas, y'all. You can go to you can Google it, find a whole list of hashtags for that day and use what applies to you. Make up your own hashtags. Y'all, people actually, I get comments and messages because I can do 20 hashtags and the last two or three, I'm making up funny stuff that makes no sense just to see if they're still reading it, and they are. So that's kind of fun too. And then Monday through Thursday, like Mondays, I try to do a blue post. Tuesdays is a green. Wednesdays red. Thursdays is yellow. Friday, I don't really do follow up Friday anymore. I build relationships on Fridays and I do mindful Mondays. So that's just kind of how I do that. Another really good little app to use is the Boomerang app. It's that one where it's like only 5 or 6 seconds long and you see somebody doing something funny and it reverses, that sort of thing. Y'all, when you turn your post to public, when you do a live video, a recorded video, a boomerang, a Snapchat, when you share any of that in your news feed, it will give you the number of how many people are watching it. The night of the pirate party in Orlando, I posted just a few pictures, but I made sure in the first, because when you post a whole bunch now in one post, it shows like the first 4 or 5. I made sure the boomerang was on there. That post had 87 likes, 10 comments, but when I click on the little boomerang thing of me and Kenny, it had almost 2,000 views. So that right there helps show you how many people really are watching, but they're not liking or commenting. So that's kind of a good thing too. Just a little bit on Instagram. Instagram, Facebook now owns them too. So their algorithms, they said within the next 3 to 6 months, are going to be almost basically the same. They kind of are now. Um, the stories on Instagram is huge too, just like Facebook. It's another Snapchat thing, and both of them have their own little face filters and all that fun stuff you can do. Um, Hashtags are very important though on Instagram. Like when you're searching for a hashtag, it's like you put in the hashtag and you put in health. Health will pop up, health and happiness, healthy lifestyle. Use whichever one first is the most popular that has like 6 million hits, and then use the one that has 4 million, and then the one that uses 2 million. At least the first 2 or 3, make them the more popular, will help boost it up. Being not private, being public on Instagram will get you out there more. I went back to public probably 2 months ago. I'm getting people following me left and right because they're finding me through the hashtags and they're finding me through my pictures. Because on Instagram, if you're familiar with it, you can go to the search and it'll bring up pictures. Or you can bring up a hashtag and it'll bring up all those related to it. So that's really, really big. Also, if you go public on Instagram, you can also click to change your account to business. Doesn't mean you're a business, doesn't mean you have to pay for the ads. But when you do that, and I don't know if I can pull it up or not, underneath each photo, then when you go to your page, it gives a little thing that says insights. Like, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Probably not. It says view insights. And when you click on it, it's going to tell you how many impressions, how many people have actually seen it, how many liked it. When you go to your weekly report in Instagram, it'll even tell you where most of your people are watching you from. Like right now, mine is Fort Stockton, Dallas, and like 2 other places, and I can't even tell you where. So that's kind of cool to see who's watching you too. And it's really building my Instagram business. I've actually, through hashtags, ranch people, chicken people, canning people, I've this year alone added 8 people that I've never met. So Instagram is huge. And on Facebook, I'm using all the groups too to grow my business. And what I've done is I've narrowed it down to like chickens and ranch wives are my 2 big ones. And I also kind of do that on the schedule. Like on, let me see, Mondays, I really work the Instagram hashtags. On Tuesdays, I really work the chicken and ranch groups on Facebook. And then I go back to Instagram chicken and ranch. So that kind of gives me a schedule so I'm not all over the place. And that just, it really, really helps. Seems like there was one more thing I just thought of and now it's gone out the window. Does anybody have any questions? I know I talk kind of fast. I'm yellow again. Craziness.
I have one. The
Okay.
boomerang thing, is that on Facebook or what is that?
Boomerang. Oh, excuse me. Boomerang is an app that you download.
Okay.
And then you can either directly put it to Facebook or Instagram, or you can save it to your camera roll, which is what I do.
Okay.
So it's really, really easy. And it's eye-catching, you know? I don't know why. I don't know who thought it up, but I wish it would have been me. And it's a free app. So it's really, really cool. And if I think of anything else, I'll post it afterwards.
Kara, I have a question.
Okay.
What did you mean on your post when you said you do a blue post, a green post, a red post?
The personalities.
Okay.
I do a post. And y'all, since it was hard for me not to, post 8, 12 times a day, being able to use the story to share my pictures is really big. And then a couple times, like on a Friday or a Sunday, I've done like a little post on my life this week and then post 6 or 7 different photos in one because people like to watch my pictures. They like to see. And still with the 2 to 3, I'm basically doing 2 Kara posts and 1 Plexus. And actually when I probably the first 2 to 3 weeks that I started working the algorithms, I was probably making a Plexus post every other day just because I wanted to boost me up in the algorithm feed faster. And what I did is I went back through the last month on my Facebook and I looked at what gets the most interaction, what kind of post. My I Love My Cowboy posts, if it's a ranch, type of photograph, my recipes, because people like to share them, which I'm going to have something new coming up on that. So y'all be watching. And there was one more. So what I did for the next couple weeks is I made more of those type posts. My stories are huge. When I tell a story, that gets all kinds of likes, comments. And y'all, since I've started doing this, like the story I posted this morning on the popcorn, I've had 17 messages asking me for the popcorn ball recipe. Even though it was in the comments, and even though it's not a big deal to comment, some people still just don't like to do that. But it's okay because it builds my algorithm by communicating with them through Messenger too. Just got to learn to work them. And I'm sure as soon as we all learn this, they're going to change it again. They like to keep us on our toes.
Kara?
Ma'am?
Do you use the Buffer app for Facebook to help plan your posts?
I don't.
I do because I work a full-time job, so I can't always be on in the day. But that, for those of us who aren't as flexible with our Facebook and internet usage, it's really a great way to at least plan 2 free posts a day.
I used Hootsuite for a little bit, but I'm kind of a control freak. Okay. And I change my mind a lot. And that's something else, you know, if you see a post, somebody else, something you think, oh, that to my story, but you've already used your 2 or 3 posts for the day, hit the save button, screenshot it, or copy and paste it to your notes.
Mhm.
Thank you, Tammy. Anybody else have anything? And y'all, I'm always free to message. And a lot of y'all, if you're working on your stories or you have a post and you want big, shoot it to me. I'm really good at critiquing and helping you. I do that a lot for a lot of people.
Kara, just a side note on, I don't know who it was that mentioned it about the Buffer app and the Hootsuite. That totally, the algorithms know that it's not you posting. And so it's going to affect like how many people see it and the amount of traffic that you get on it. I worked a full-time job before I was, full-time Plexus, so I totally get that. I think one thing to remember is that, when you're building like the relationship piece, if you only post once or twice a day, that's okay, because you're doing a lot of the work on the outs or like on the behind the scenes stuff through Messenger, through face-to-face things. So it's just my experience that the Buffer really cuts down on your visibility and the traffic that you get from those posts and the news feed.
Exactly. Very good, Karen. Thanks.
Yep.
Anything else, anybody?
Okay, I pulled up the app on my cell phone. And is it the Boomerang from Instagram? Is that the one that's called? It's kind of got the little red swooshy thing.
Well, I'm on the phone, so I can't look, but yeah, I think that's the right one.
Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
it says, Luann.
Do what?
I was just agreeing. I was saying, yes, you have the right one. It'll say Facebook or it says
Okay.
Boomerang for Instagram, but it'll work on both Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
It was actually when it first came out, it was something through Instagram. And then I think after Facebook bought Instagram and all that, now it's a kind of standalone app too. So I'm going to be watching all of y'all's posts. I'll be the post police. No, not really. I'll grow and go. It's really fun because to me, it's been very exciting, to watch the interaction and how things are growing. Oh, and the other thing on stories on Facebook and on Instagram, after you've posted something and say like the next day, because they're only on there for 24 hours like Snapchat, once you pull up your own picture, in the left-hand corner, there'll be a number on Facebook. You click on that number, and it's going to scroll up and show you everybody that's looked at it. Y'all, when I first started, I was getting 5 to 20. Now I'm getting close to 100 people looking at them, and they're people that I forgot was on Facebook. They're people that never talk to me, never, interact or anything. So that's been huge too. On Instagram, I think you just click on it and it just automatically, or it shows you a couple people's names and you click on it and it shows you all of them. So that's kind of good to see who's watching you too. And they can comment, they can send you a smiley face, and then you can reply back to them privately too. So that's really nice. Well, Miss Dusty, do you want to close the meeting? Or do you want me to? Me? Okay, y'all, if you don't mind, I'm going to pray over us real quick. Father God, I just thank you for the opportunity, Lord. I thank you for the opportunity of the business, Lord, for our health. And Lord, just to come together, the relationships we're building, Lord, and that our light may shine through you and through this business. I ask that you just help all of us to apply everything we've learned and to go and to grow and to be bold and fearless in your name. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Thanks, everybody.